A hero of World War I wasn't a soldier, but was Stubby, a small dog who turned the tide of battles. He saved soldiers from poison gas, helped the wounded in the most difficult moments, and even captured enemy spies. This is the true story of the dog who became a war legend. At the beginning of 1917, the atmosphere of World War I loomed over the world. Millions of soldiers were deployed in trenches, destruction was everywhere, and poison gas had become a new weapon that terrified everyone. During that time, American soldier John Robert Conroy was training with his unit at Yale University, which had been turned into a military camp. While he was taking a short walk outside the camp during a break, he spotted a small, frail-looking dog, seemingly lost among the roads. John approached the dog and noticed its innocent, pleading gaze. Its eyes shone as if they were begging for someone to save it from its loneliness. John didn't hesitate for a moment. He approached, patted its head, and then took it with him to the camp. From that moment on, an extraordinary friendship began between a man and a dog, a friendship that would change the course of his life and the lives of many soldiers. He named him Stubby. At first, no one expected Stubby to be anything more than an entertaining companion for the soldiers, but he quickly amazed everyone. He showed a natural intelligence and quickly learned to raise his front paw to his head, as if saluting like them. That scene made the soldiers laugh and admire him at the same time, making him beloved by the entire battalion. As the battalion's departure for the French front approached, John faced a problem. Animals were not allowed, but he couldn't leave his new friend behind. With a clever trick, he hid Stubby inside his large bag and boarded the ship heading to Europe with him. There, Stubby emerged from the bag to begin a journey no one had anticipated. In France, Stubby found himself in the midst of a new world full of deafening sounds, shells tearing through the sky, and muddy trenches where soldiers spent their days and nights. Over time, he became an essential part of the battalion's daily routine. He shared their scarce food, slept among them in the trenches, and accompanied them in their movements. But the moment that completely changed his status came on a dark night. The soldiers were sleeping in their trenches when Stubby began barking madly. At first, they didn't understand what was happening, but a few minutes were enough to reveal the truth. A cloud of poison gas was creeping towards them with deadly silence. Had it not been for Stubby's barking, many of them would have died of suffocation. Thanks to him, they woke up in time, put on their masks, and escaped certain death. From that night on, Stubby was no longer just a friend. He had become the battalion's guardian. His heroism did not stop there. In another fierce battle, as soldiers were falling by the dozens, Stubby ran through the killing field searching for wounded survivors. He would approach each soldier, smell him to make sure he was still breathing, and then bark in a distinctive way to alert the medics. Thanks to him, dozens of lives were saved. For the soldiers, Stubby's bark was the sound of hope in their darkest moments, but his most daring act was when he helped capture a German spy. He was wandering near the camp when he spotted suspicious movement in the shadows. He cautiously approached until he discovered a German soldier trying to infiltrate. Without hesitation, Stubby pounced on him and gripped his clothing tightly until the soldiers rushed over and arrested him. This act elevated his status to that of a true hero in the eyes of his commanders as well, not just among the soldiers. At the end of the war, Stubby returned to the United States with John. But he was no longer just an unknown dog. He was received as a hero.
Stubby spent the rest of his life in comfort with his friend John, but he always remained more than just a dog. He was a reminder that heroism is not limited to humans alone. He was a small symbol of love and hope in a world torn apart by war and hatred. If you liked this story, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive more exciting historical tales.